Welcome back. I will now ask, this is just for introductions to amendments to Recs 3 and 4. I'd ask Boyd and Daryl, I think are both coming to the table to explain and will make people understand where we're going.
Good morning, Mayor and Councillors. We're just going to give a quick overview of the process for the amendments as we work through it. So there were around 120 odd amendments that have come through. Someone kept turning me off. So apologies about that. We'll start again. So there was 120 odd amendments, and they've been grouped in four ways. And I'll just talk through them. The first group we'll call Schedule 1 are noting amendments. These are issues that you have identified in the draft that staff have come back and said that is actually included in the draft long-term plan. The second schedule are where options or more information has been requested, and staff can provide this within existing resources. These are primarily things that you've asked about, and these will be able to help probably inform the annual plan 25-26 discussion. The third is where more information and options have been requested, but these do have a resource implications, and the Chief Executive will come back to you by July with what those implications are, so you can decide whether to proceed with those, getting that information or not. The fourth group are the substantive amendments. These are the ones that we'll have a debate on and will be voted on one by one. They tend to have a rating impact on them. They've been classified into two areas based on the fact that they primarily fell in the citizens and community group of services and the infrastructure and regulatory group of services at Council. We plan to separate them into those two groups so that group manager and the relevant heads of service can come up at it once and answer those questions. Then we'll have a debate on each group, as the Mayor outlined at the start. You've just received a copy of the latest versions of Schedules 1, 2 and 3. There have been, it's a bit of a moving feast, as you're all well aware, over the particularly the last 24 hours as well. So thank you for your patience with that. And particularly thank you to the team, Kathy and Sam and Secretariat, for their support in coordinating this. And we just need to check, Councillor Scandrett, on Big Tin Can. Have you seen the latest copy of the schedules?
Yep, I'm all good, thank you.
Cool. I do have two notes, slight tweaks to be made. The first refers to amendment number 114 in Schedule 3, that's in the name of Councillor Moore. At the end of that amendment, it should say by 25-26. And that relates to a report around Cashmere Road and a shared path. You get the report by 20. You get the report by 25-26. So you can consider it in the annual plan 25-26. The second amendment of note is that there is an amendment that was up for debate, number 72, in the name of Councillor Henstock and Councillor McClellan, regarding a crossing at Northcote Road, and I understand that you would be happy to move that into Schedule 3 to get the report back from staff on resourcing implications. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But they are the two bits I have. Daryl and I are happy to answer any process questions. We're obviously not subject matter experts on the amendments, but if you do have those, just bear with us as we have to call on the relevant staff member to come forward. So that's us.
Thank you, Boyd. So just to let councillors know that the questions are on all the three we've got in front of us.
That's correct. And
then we will move on to debate on all of them, of the whole lot. And then we will vote going forward on the lot. Okay, but if any councillor wants to record their vote against, they're more than welcome to do that on any particular amendment.
I will maybe defer to the Secretariat to confirm this, but if a councillor does want to record a no against a particular amendment in a particular schedule, please first of all just bear with us. Just put your hand up and we'll have to and please give out the amendment number in the left-hand column.
Okay, so righto. Question? Right, here we go. Number 1. Councillor Cotter.
Just to clarify, Schedule 3 will get a response because they require resourcing. They'll get a response in July.
Well, and so you'll get the response in time for the final annual plan, so you can decide whether you want to commission it in the coming year. It's the response will be on the resource implications of doing that report.
Prior to the LTP sign-off at the end of June?
Yes.
Right, so they could still be in.
Yep. And that's when you decide whether to get that report in that coming year.
Okay, so for the draft, there'll be no rate implication on Schedule 3?
No, there's no.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Councillor Johansson.
So I was just trying to understand how the information in terms of the transport choices and the craft program will be considered in terms of the amendments that have been put forward today.
That's a specific question, and I'd have to possibly defer to the head of transport regarding that. But can you refer to the amendment number if you've got a question on the specific
Sorry,
amendment?
it was the one in regards to the Te Aratai cycle one.
Whoops. And the page number, please. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just we'll come back to it if you want.
Is it Schedule 1, 2 and 3, Councillor Johansson, or is it in the infrastructure group?
Because when we do the infrastructure stuff later, we will have Lynette and 2 others up there to answer any questions that you've got on that. Then I think it's probably better to wait until that time.
And can I just clarify an answer to the question in terms of things in Schedule 3 having no rate impact? At this stage, they have no rate impact, but when it comes back in July, the advice might be this piece of work would cost this amount. Yeah, great. June, sorry,
June,
for
yeah.
July. Yeah,
For July.
June, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Councillor Donovan, please. On the amendments you see in front of you.
Yep,
One,
so
two,
I'm talking about Schedule 3. Yep, number 64, just missing a couple of words in the amendment, or the proposed amendment. So it just should read to enable construction to begin in, to be clear on what the purpose is. This relates to the major cycleway out to New Brighton. So I just want to be clear, that's...
So it's up on the screen, 64.
It's just a slight update to the wording. It's not a question, it's just a comment
Yep. We
that
might
could be
have-
recorded.
Yep. If you could just send that
I'll
through
send
to
it through.
the team up
Okay,
front.
councillors, can we please, it's all very well to say 64 or 551, just fire in the page number as well, so we can just find it a bit quicker. Oh, yeah, as well, yeah. Okay, so you've done Councillor Harrison Hunt.
So, what's it? Can you ask a question to the room, thanks? Sorry.
This is for everything, right? All of the amendments we see before us in Schedule 1, 2 and 3, we're asking about every single thing.
No,
Yes.
you can, well, any one particular one that you
Okay.
want to,
And
that
you're gonna
takes
move-
your interest.
And you just said that you're going to move everything substantively, collectively. Is that correct?
Yes,
All good.
Okay.
yes, because they at this stage they have no bearing on the long-term plan figure. Is that right?
Okay. I've got a few questions, Mr. Mayor. That's right.
Well, just
This one, first one's for parks, and I'm referring to number. So I'm just bringing it up.
section what, buddy? 1?
Schedule 1, 2 or 3.
Number 110, Schedule 2.
Page 3, thank you.
It's up on screen now, everybody.
Yes. So before us, we see. Actually, I apologise. It's not this one. It's on the same site though. 2 secs. It's about the pocket park, which I'm trying to track down. It might be in 3.
It could also be something that's coming through on the later schedule.
Okay. Yeah, it might be in 4. I just have to double check. Things have changed on the last.
I think it's in the infrastructure and regulatory
Okay,
group,
I'll
or the
wait for that
citizens
one.
and communities
Yep,
group, your others.
Yep.
Well, like
We
hearing.
do have to, it is quite confusing, it'll be even more confusing for people in the audience, but these are amendments and people have made through subsequent amendments, and
Yep.
so it is difficult to keep track of what's happening on the sheet. So all credit to Boyd and Darryl for coercing it into sheets along with the Secretariat.
So, Tyler, are you still looking?
I'm all right. I'll wait for the infrastructure one
righto.
at the moment.
Councillor Peters, please.
I just wanted to check for clarity, the ones that were showing yesterday, insufficient information, are they moving into any of these schedules or are they going for individual debates generally?
We've worked through most of those, and I understand most of them have gone into schedules. Most of them were related to the more substantive amendments, so they've been moved through. Last I understood.
So I guess there's one in particular that I'm really interested in is my one around the RWT at Amy Springs and where that might have landed.
That will be in the infrastructure and regulatory because it's a
Thank you.
capital move forward.
Councillor Hunt's got another question.
Okay, Councillor Kewen, please.
This is more for people that may be in the gallery or watching from home, around all the bits of paper we've got. If you can put into context, then, because you said 120 amendments, is that normal, or is that what's an average for an LTP versus an annual plan? And especially because some people might be quite interested, given that the rates rise is around 15%, that anything will be added during a cost of living crisis. So if you could put it into context, the amount that we've got, and how many of these don't actually cost money, and because the 120 might sound scary, and how many, what percentage do, and so on and so forth.
So the 3 schedules in front of you, Councillor, have no rating impact. That's why they're laid out. The information will come back on Schedule 3 and you have to make a call. In terms of the number in front of me, it's been a bit of a moving feast and I don't have a specific count of what's in front of us. And in terms of whether it's a larger number than usual, I'd have to refer to more experienced hands at this.
So I can answer that. Yes, this is considerably more than we would normally get in your plan, but we would also get a number of these amendments on the day, where at this point we've actually tried to receive them in advance so we can get information and they're not ruled out on the day for insufficient information. So we have a lot, but I haven't experienced this number of amendments either coming in before or on the day before this. So this is a large number, but the process has meant that we could have information for you to make decisions today.
Yep. Okay. Councillor Harrison-Hunt.
Great. Ready to go again. Number 131, Schedule 2. It's on page 4 of those pages that we've got. This here is relating to language barriers. I would like to potentially amend that, and I've got some words to help fix that to make it a little bit easier, if that's all right. And that's deleting, including the use of suitably qualified staff volunteers. And then adding, including regulatory and compliance matters, engagement and access to digital content. The issue I'm trying to address here is really simple. Those particularly on that Church Corner catchment have language barriers and they get their grandkids to translate. So it'd be good if we could actually give them compliance documents that are in their language to help them with the regulatory matters that are before us.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, and we'll report back on that and including any additional costs that would involve in time for the
Great,
decision.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Councillor Johansson.
So can I just
Sorry, Karen?
check the staff advice cannot remain the same, which can be the report can be reviewed within existing resources, but we cannot guarantee that translating all that information into multiple languages can be done in existing budgets.
yep.
So we'll come back with advice.
I realise there could be
impact on
costs, and I tried to make some cost cuts through the staff volunteer
Yeah.
thing. But there are some legal things that Katie has talked to me about, which I needed to amend.
that. Right. Just as long as you're clear. It's only a report. The report will provide what financial impact it would have.
So just to be clear, the Schedule 1 is, correct me if I'm wrong, Boyd, Schedule 1 is noting only. Schedule 2 is just, I shouldn't say just report back, there's a lot of work in it. And Schedule 3 is a meteor report that will cost some money to do the report, and it will come back and we'll make the decision then. They're the three sort of things. Okay. Councillor Johansson, please.
Sorry, just to be clear, we're voting on all of these. They're not amendments, but we're going to vote on each and every one.
Not individually, we're not. As a group of these three, we're voting on the whole lot together. If you want to vote against one particular one or two, you're more than welcome to, and you just tell the Secretariat.
Right. And do we know what the impact will be on the current work programs? Like, where will we get the resource to do all this work?
That's
So that's why they've been grouped in this way, and it's clarified is that when the report comes back, particularly Schedule 3 are the ones that have been identified that may impact either on budgets or on work programs. When you get the report back, it will identify those costs, and at that point you will make the decision whether you want to proceed with it or not.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is just getting you sufficient information to make
Right.
that decision.
So, like, there's one of them in here that's about related to a dog park. And then I've also had one about a dog park that's not on here. And I'm just wondering, like, what the...
So I assume
differences.
that's in the citizens and community cluster, so that'll be in the later schedule.
But
I,
the advice was pretty similar.
I can just add a bit to that. The advice we've had, and I may have to ask Andrew to chip in here, but Amendment 1.1, in the name of Councillor Moore, it's referring to a specific project in the capital program for a new dog park in southwest Christchurch.
Right.
That's whereas the one regarding the Bexley Dog Park,
Yeah.
I believe that was relating to program funding. But Andrew's got his hand up. So
Clarify the Bexley one. The Bexley one is purely an operational matter. It's around dealing with some pest grass, and so it's included in our operational program. So there's no amendment required.
Right.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, so no more questions. Yes. Councillor McDonald's happy to move it, and Councillor Cotter is more than happy to second it. So we've done all our questions, obviously, so now we're going to debate, and we can debate anything you like on these 3 pages. Help yourself. Far away.
I'll set the standard for the day. This is just asking for advice. It'll come back to informed decisions before we get to the end of the process. And as has been reiterated, if people are objecting to different things, then let the Secretariat know and they can do them. But this is probably the easy bit of the day. So.
Correct. Any other debate? Okay, I'd just like to say it seems ironic to me that the third schedule is about going out and getting reports when I was hung up to dry last week for getting a report on something. So just saying, because I can.
Really?
We still want to pass.
Don't mention it. No, don't go there either. Okay, I will now put this motion. All of those in favour? Against? Thank you, Kerry.
Just noting,
If there's any individual,
there are.
Yes. So if Sam can just wander, shall we do that?
yeah.
Oh, just Noting the oppositions that have been previously sent through to the Secretariat, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in addition to that, then is me and Victoria for 52 on page 2, which is Councillor McDonald's. That's what I'm saying. So we're
Okay,
not
so-
we're not voting. We're not voting against. We're
Just
not voting.
let, if you want to vote against anything, just talk to Sam, Secretariat Sam.
No, okay, so I'll do it because I've got a microphone, sorry. So I just want to confirm that Councillor Henstock and Councillor McClellan are conflict of interest, was it, for 52? Yes. Right, thank you.
We've been told that all our conflicts have already been registered on the external bodies that we're sitting on.
Yeah, so I can confirm that the minutes have the CCO registers, and then there's been some individual emails as well, and we also have the register that Helen referred to yesterday about your register of interests.
Okay, we're all good. So we're on our way. Okay, so now we're up to that one.
Yes. And invite Andrew up to the table.
Well,
Have we got scheduled?
so I'll read this out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We will now get to the juicy end of the day.
We haven't got the schedules yet, so we need 5 minutes. So
All right.
read it
Okay.
out.
But I'll
You
do
read
this
it out.
first.